All right. Hey, good morning, folks. We're going to continue doing some more artwork today. Give me a moment here to check my signal, make sure that we're coming through clearly, and then we'll have around 90 minutes of some pixel pushing this morning. So let's see. Checking in on here. See if my signal's coming through clearly. Mic check. Let's see. Checking in on here. See if my signal's coming through clearly. Mic check.
Let's see if I can adjust it so that it sits more cleanly here. Let's see if I can adjust it so that it sits more cleanly here. Let's see if I can adjust it so that it sits better. Hold on. Fix my. See if I can adjust it so that it sits better.
Okay, cool. So that's enough cacophony, Kearney. Get that out of the way, my dude. All right, cool. So I'll do my intro here real fast while I do my social media postings. Hey, what's up? My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And we're creating an adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Eberron campaign setting, 2024 rules. It's called Crystals of Mabar. We're fighting necromancers, undead, and demons in the Carnwood of Carnath on the continent of Corvair. I've been a DM since 1987, and a freelance illustrator since 99, an enthusiast of Eberron since 2004, and creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018. But I have yet to create anything specifically for Eberron, so this is me doing that. So that's all the social media posts that I need to make. So let me just fix my screen here for us to get started and say, hey, do you think this stuff is cool? Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications and when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books I've already created on the DMsGuild that you can check out. They all have free preview. And if you think that stuff is cool, you want to add it into your D&D campaign, let me know about it. There's a link to my Discord channel down below where you're welcome to drop your notes in, ask me anything. And made this book cover around episode 40, and you'll see it on the DMsGuild front page once it publishes, hopefully here in a couple months. This is Atur Academy. Atur Academy is the premier necromancy wizards academy in the world of Eberron. And let me just smudge this a smidge. It's little circles like Bob Ross. There's a frame that we use here that we're going to be when we finish this illustration, we're going to be completing this frame. It's been a stand-in this whole time, just as a frame of reference, pardon the pun. But it's time for us to finalize it. That's how far into the document that we've gotten, that we're cleaning up the little sniggly bits here and doing like spot illustrations and page fillers at this point. A little froggy this morning. Maybe coffee will make it go away. Maybe not. Let's clean that up. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think I can afford to merge these down. There we go. This is kind of nitpicky, I know, but I'm easing myself into, so we still have a little bit of architecture to do. Something feels wrong. You know, I did work last night and I feel like it wasn't saved. like, at all. That got saved, so I'm happy with that framework. That's okay. That's okay. This is not where I left off, though. Give me a second here. I have to catch up because something. I must not have saved something or something. That's really disappointing. I did all those bits. That's good. Oh well. Can't be helped. We are where we're supposed to be. So I'll just go ahead and accept. I'll accept my fate and sally forth. It looks like, for whatever reason, when I saved last night, it didn't stick. Oh well. I did it once, I can do it again. I did it once, I can do it again. Zoom out. A-okay. Let's lock down the upper deck. And let's fold that up so that out of the way. No, wait, I need to do that over. True line disappears. Oh no, it's there. It's just beside me. Okay, cool. Nope, I'm just crazy. It's this is what it is. This is where we're at. This is what I could have done. Baby Grace is the victim. Just added some. Just a little bit of shading. Let's go. Okay, so that's good. So I can stick with my tree line. Weird. These are really small, fairly unimportant details at this scale, but I want to have them in there. It's because it's a little bit of extra texture and detail work. Just helps make the architecture look good. We want to create the illusion of activity, detail, and patterning, so that when we're looking at the piece, I just kind of accepts what it is that you're looking at, right? So let's grab, is that sitting in there? This. Let's grab that. I don't know what that stuff is. Hold on, I'm a man on the mission. Give me a second. Okay, that's valuable. Okay. This is all upper deck stuff. There we go. That's what we're supposed to be seeing. All right. All's right in the world. And the lower deck is here. All right. Since we're lower in elevation on these lower floors than we are up here, you can see we did this trim that goes up into the underside of the archway. But here, lower down, I don't want to have that much distinction. Here, lower down. Yeah, this is where I need to be. Wait, hold on. That's good. That's good. Why is that stripe there? Let's figure that out. This is a lot of layers, and I haven't been doing a good job labeling stuff on this particular piece, so some stuff seems to be getting lost in themselves. So I am currently trying to sort out my layers. That's all in place. Okay, this should be fine. This is where we're at. So I can fold all that up. We're fine in there. Cool. And put that in there. And you can't even see them up there. Wow, minimal. Okay, cool. And then let's see. Let's grab. Here. Once we, I just got to finish with these archways here for a second, and then thank you, Tom. And then we can move on to the towers. And once the towers are done, the piece is done. So super close. The next, yeah, we're gonna do the frames and filigree for the adventure after we complete this piece. I'm wondering if this thing is taking so long because I'm not emotionally prepared to create the filigree yet, and this is a subtle way for my subconscious to make sure I'm not walking into that piece before I'm ready to do it. Which sounds like a weird thing to say, but you got to be emotionally prepared to work on stuff. Especially if it's going to be frustrating. If you get frustrated with your work, that is emotionally fatiguing. It prevents you from... it causes you to procrastinate, is what happens. If you aren't ready to take on a task, but it's the only task that you're allowing yourself to perform next, you're going to vacuum instead of push the pixels because you aren't ready to make the commitment that you need for whatever it is that piece is going to need from you. And that doesn't... Saying that's okay is like a misnomer. I don't think that's quite accurate to say it's okay. But you have to recognize where you're at with your piece. That's a IE as well as EA piece. You gotta be aware of where you're at with yourself, because art is going to test your patience and your fatigue and your commitment to the project. And I think more than anything, art is about endurance. Having the emotional and physical as well as psychological endurance to be able to push all the pixels that need to get pushed. And have the mistakes that you're going to make and the setbacks and the undos and all the crap that goes along with trying to make a piece of art. The frustration of attempting and not easily completing a task is really what is great about artwork in general. You got to fall in love with the struggle. And being frustrated with the struggle is part of the love. And it's part of the process, and it's fine. You can be frustrated with things. You're allowed to get frustrated. You're allowed to be angry about them. You're allowed to step away, but you have to recognize where you're at. Otherwise, you're going to be fooling yourself about exactly what's going on. And then you can't make progress. If you can recognize, I'm stuck right now, and that's why I'm doing everything I possibly can to not push a pixel. If you don't have that insight, you're going to understand what the hell's wrong with me. It's like you haven't assessed yet that there's nothing wrong with you. You're just overwhelmed. And then you can start adjusting expectations. Transform. Nudge this down with a skew tool. Perfect. Let's add some, I don't know, let's add some filigree of some sort in here. Something like that. Transform. Flip horizontal. There we are. Merge all these down. I'm just gonna put in some highlights. I like that. There you go. Fill that in. Just a little bit of detail. Here. Don't really have to go very far with the detail, just a little bit of shape. Just be consistent with it. Whatever shape it is that you choose is fine. Just be consistent with it so it creates a pattern. And it ends up being okay. I don't want to put a lot of detail between these windows, though I might end up doing it anyway. But that's good for now. So we can go leave that sitting here. And let's see. Yeah, that feels right. Okay, cool. So now let's work on the front tower. Finally. Dome. Dome. What the hell are you going to? Transform. I literally do not see. What this thing is. How that? There's a line. There's a line. And then this is just reference point. Okay, cool. So let's let's make something out of this. I'm going to take this here. I'm going to drop down the opacity because I suspect we're going to end up getting rid of this. I think right off the top. Let's grab. Let's take this and smudge it in. So we're just gonna use some just form shading to round out, just to get rid of the flat two-dimensional flat color of it. So give it some form and volume. That's gonna help us to more quickly just cheat in detail here is our reference brought to us by Casa Stereo 89 or Patreon/Casa Stereo. Casa Stereo has been creating maps for Eberron for years now. And this is the only image that I'm aware of Atur Academy right here. That's it. Everything that we've been building is off of that inference. So it's got this greenish motif going on. Our general coloring is green. So that's what we've been using. This is right on point with that type of coloring. That's along the edge of it. So like this bottom rim here and these towers. So the color that we're using is good. I don't know. I'm guessing it's just paint that's caused it to be green like this. I'm just guessing. That feels good. Let's grab this. Again, we're looking at. Okay, I kind of like this now. Just adding in the cylinder form shading helps make this immediately easier. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but we can be tentatively excited. I'm going to first off, where are we at? Let's go with 65. Let's see, how can we do this? It really is just a matter of just adding in a detail and then just committing to it. Just being consistent with it as a recurring pattern. And it generally ends up okay. Like, I don't know what the hell this is going on, but it's a consistent pattern, so it fits on the piece. All the better if I actually have like an intent that goes on behind the thing, but sometimes I just do a thing to do it. Let's go with there we go. Detail here. There we go. So far, yeah, so far so good. Nope. Not bad. Let's see. Easy lines. Let's get the angle right, Kearney. There, just fade it in. Yeah, not bad. Let's see here. There we go. Get that across there, and then there we go. Let's see about putting in some highlights. You. Just want to smudge that. So just doing a base color and then just doing a fade as you go further down the page. It infers that the light is not hitting lower on the target. And it's a very easy, cheap detail. Just gradients. Just doing color gradients and shadow work in general is an easy way to cheat in details without actually having to do any additional difficult to replicate detail work. And since this is curving around the building, I don't want as much highlight over to the right-hand side than I have on the left. See, we got more light over here on the left than on the right. Go. highlight down here. There we go. I like that. Let's change it up a bit. Let's go with try something like this. Make sure that's we're just gonna make some rail. We're gonna make a railing here, so it's gonna be like a kind of like these railings here that we have on the upper deck. So we'll make sure that the line is good. So we're just going to take our time here, just to make sure it looks nice and straight. Since we don't have a lot of these that we have to replicate, it's easy for us just to make sure it looks good. There we go. Let me back it off a little bit here with a bit of an eraser. Let's see, there's our midline there. Here's another point, and here's a point. There. Easy enough. Just gonna bring that down. There we go. Now we can dust in some darker behind the railing there to make it pop. By adding in some added detail here as like a frame, it's going to let us get away with not having to do anything in these ribs moving down from it, if that makes any sense. Because we're already giving the eye something to chew on. Let's block that in. There we go. Keep building up. We just keep building on top of what we built on top of until it has enough density to feel natural. There. to skew this a smidge. Free transform. Skew. I don't think I'm grooving on this. Spent a little bit of time building that out, and it's not feeling right. So let's reset. Yeah, we ran that experiment and it didn't work. So. Time to rebuild. I like elements of what we were working on there, but it just wasn't jiving with the piece overall. It just wasn't, it didn't feel right. So it was sloppy. That's part of the problem. But it also just looked busy for being busy. Like it didn't feel like it had as much purpose. There. Let's see. Full all that shit. Fold that up. Let's go to here. Let's rebuild. All right. So how do we want to do? We want to. I think we want to add in some stripes. Let's see. We probably want to be. Delete. There we go. Let's just rough it in, and then we'll clean it up. So we want to roughen the pattern so it's thorough. I like that checkerboard pattern with the sharp arches. It was that's what the problem was. It wasn't the same sort of architecture or general style of build as the rest of the structure is. So it felt wrong. I couldn't quite identify it, but it was because it was a different style of build. And we're just gonna spend a little bit of time. That's not bad. That's forward facing enough. Here to here. Here. Angles off. Better. This is too curved now, so let's make sure I keep my perspective right. That feels better. Transform. Let's warp it a bit. Ish. So what do I want to do about these? The banding at the same level as the windows here. That's a decent idea for scale and reference. There, but now that's curved, so we need to straighten that out here. Like that. What if we did that? If we intend for this to be railing, that, and then have another railing
here. Turn like that. Get away with patterning like this. Yes, we can. Hey, I think we're figuring out something here. Then we would need to build, let's see, should we have an inset here? That, and here like that. You know, like that. That doesn't seem right. I don't think we should break frame like that. So we'll leave those like that. But I think the arch idea is correct though. Too low slung. But we could. I don't know, we just did that, didn't we? How do I want to do this? How are we doing on time? Oh yeah, we're doing plenty of time. Cool. Do this instead. Kind of into that. Let's merge that. There we go. Let's do like that. I think I like that.
It's kind of replicating the pattern that we already have going on. Flanking. I think I'm okay with that though. I don't think I need to innovate. I think I just need to replicate. Let's block that in. Yeah, this feels right. All right, there we go. Yeah. Block that all in. Then another band here that coincides with that frame there. That looks a lot more natural, and it works with the architecture that we already have in place. I think this is the winning solution right here. So here, and we can block this in similarly here. Block that in. I think it lines up with what we're doing. Here at the top, just like we have in the other. Yeah, this is just taking the same architecture and just extending it outward into this turret. I think I'm pretty good with that. I want to keep this darker tone as the underframe, and then I want to use this same wall tone here for these highlights here, and instead of having this dark rib here on the lighter roof, I want to have that light. I want to have the ribs here light on a darker structure. I think that makes it work. Yeah, that is going to work. You know what? Talking about going to work, I think I'm going to kick out of here a little early. For some reason, my gut's telling me just to bail on being online today. So I don't know why. That's not typical, but it's what feels right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here for now. We have a format here. Once this tower is done, we can replicate it over here, and then this piece will be done. So we'll frame it properly, drop down size, add the text back in, and then we'll kick on to a new page. So I believe we're going to be working on something different tomorrow. That's my hope. So I'm going to go ahead and kick out of here for now, and catch up with everybody. Catch up with everyone tomorrow. So I hope you're having a great day. Looking forward to be back in touch. I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.